Hello, and welcome to our first of the interludes, Diadora, Beneath the Rock. These interludes will serve to give a spotlight into our cast and guest characters with moments from before and during the campaign. Make sure to check out our Patreon where there will be exclusive behind-the-scenes first looks, interviews, merch, and announcements about our guests. You can also check out our YouTube and catch up on everything Ampistrano. Make sure also to check out Aurea, Toby, Blackstone, and Cal's interludes as well. Finally, make sure to tune in on January 21st for our Season 2 premiere. As you can see, I am joined by the lovely, amazing Fairbear today, as we as we will be exploring a bit of Diadora's past. So, Diadora and Fair, are you ready to journey beyond the veil of Ampistrano?
Ooh, I think so.
Okay, let's do it. So, our story begins 3 years before Season 1 started, before those glimmers of fate connected and far from the confines of Illipin. We journey eastward to the city of Eligress. Eligress is a port city settled on the southeast side of Ampistrano. Many see it as the arm extending to protect the capital, Jorix. To the south lies the Zerenia Mountains. There is a belief that deep within the mountain's deadly grasp lies a large amber emblazoned dragon named Zerenia. She settled there after the first chasm break about 2 millennia ago. This has not been confirmed, as many who have attempted to climb the mountain have not returned. To the north lies the Azora Forest, a great expanse of forest and wildlife that goes on for miles. About a day's ride outside of the city is a large coliseum, built as a training camp of sorts for the military and officers for the king. This military barracks is led by the Commander Tyneal, a prominent and well-decorated war veteran. The king holds his family in high regard. Deeper within the woods lies Fort Yanish, the home of Commander Tyneal. It is highly guarded and well cared for, with his family residing there for the last 450 years. Cutting around the city of Eligress is the Varnoth River. This river expands far throughout the land of Ampistrano and brings trade and wealth to the surrounding areas. It is early morning. The sun is just starting to blink at the city. Overlooking the Whisperian Sea are several statues from the Temple District. Banners of a blue river with a tree and a diamond dance in the wind. However, we zoom in on the barracks to Diadora Shadesun. Now, Diadora, would you be awake already, or just be stirring as dawn has approached?
I would definitely have been awake for maybe 30 minutes or so already. I awake with the sun. My circadian rhythm is on point.
What, as you're kind of laying here and hearing the city slowly waking up, you do hear the familiar sounds of metal hitting from the forge not far from your window. You do hear several roosters cawing in the distance, their morning serenades to some, double calls for others. What would you be doing as you're kind of laying in your room, and what does your room look like?
My room is very, I would say, Spartan. There's not a lot of personality to it. Maybe some things that remind me of home, but for the most part, it's pretty barren.
Okay.
Because this just isn't, like, the sounds remind me of home, but, like, waking up and seeing the walls does not, so.
Sure.
And I don't plan on staying here that long, so I'm not trying to give it any personality.
For sure. And you do have this large window that kind of oversees, it's kind of a beautiful window that oversees the city, just because the barracks are on a bit of a hill. So you do get to see the, temples in the distance just off of the coast. On the cliff base, you see the city. You can already see smoke rising as several, bakeries are cooking in the distance, and those smells, I will say with your fantastic sense of smell, you can definitely pick those up from the distance as well.
Yeah, I think like she'll spend like her morning, or she'll spend like a little bit of time, just getting ready for the day, making sure her sword is still sharp, making sure her armor is presentable,
Sure.
because that's how she was trained. And probably just sort of every now and then looking out the window, watching sort of like the buzz, like the start of the activity as the city starts waking up. Bakers moving about, getting ready for their day because they have to start early,
Mm-hmm.
things like that. Just like, and like, some of the other soldiers and knights in the barracks sort of maybe coming off of their shift and going to beds, and then the next group waking up and starting to stir, just kind of watching.
And you also see, too, several farmers kind of moving through the barracks, like the courtyard. You know that typically Eligress is pretty strict when it comes to checking what comes in and out, just because it is a large kind of military base. So they are often using this as a kind of training for, Crownsguard that'll be stationed at gates to ask, like, what are you claiming when you're bringing something with you and otherwise.
Yeah. Customs agents.
Pretty much, yeah.
TSA.
TSA, pretty much. So you do see several farmers are starting to head through the barracks out towards the kind of fields that are a little bit further into the forest. There's several clearings that they've set up. This area is very fertile when it comes to its food, when it comes to, corn or other such vegetables, a lot of wheat. They don't have to export for a lot of things, truly.
Yeah.
So, okay. So you're kind of, getting yourself slowly awake. You can already start to hear the commotion within the creaky floorboards of this barracks. It's not a super nice barracks. So literally your neighbor next door, you can hear them kind of saying, shit and hurrying to get ready. And just...
I hear them scare themselves awake with a fart and then rush to get ready.
You hear that. You also hear a knock happening at the door. Not your door. It's the one adjacent to you, to the one that is quickly hurrying, and a familiar kind of gravelly voice knocks 3 times and goes, "Jeremy, you up? You better not be late. Diadora, you also better be up."
I'm always up.
You just hear a pause. Wasn't expecting that answer. Good on you. And you hear the kind of boots shuffling as they head down the hall away. You know this to be the voice of Lieutenant Sandora Lynn. They are an Earth Genasi with green hair that looks like vines kind of cascading off of their head. They have dark gray skin. She appears to be in her early 30s and wearing kind of this gray and green kind of armor. She's one of those guards that kind of trains from more being hidden and discreet, especially being out. But she is one of the barrack heads, and you all on this floor are under her kind of tutelage, so she's making sure all of you are up. So you hear Jeremy stumbling out the door, hitting a wall as he's kind of going and kind of hopping, doing the thing with his shoes as he's like hopping to get down. This little halfling who just was very much asleep up until 30 seconds ago and now is being fully expected to be fully awake.
Yeah. I think as I gather my things and go out the door, I sort of I'm chuckling a bit at just all the commotion going on in his room.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there are some days where if I can sense that Commander's in maybe a mood, I'll try to wake him up before, but today it seemed pretty chill.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just oh, let him sleep. And then she just comes knocking almost immediately. It's oh, fuck. Sorry.
There's definitely an understanding between the two of you. He's known for each of you are able to drink 1 mug of ale at dinner. And he knows that if he drinks all of his, he's not going to be getting up on time. So he usually will kind of sanction some in a small kind of drinking thing to give to you, knowing you'll be fine, instead as kind of payment for making sure he's up on time.
Yeah, didn't pay last night.
No,
didn't pay.
Mm-mm.
Guess you didn't want to be woken up.
Nope. What do you do? You can hear everyone's at this point getting up and moving around.
Yeah, I'll go, I'll just make my way down to, like, the, whatever the fuck a kitchen's called. I can't think of the word right now. The mess hall.
Yeah, the mess hall is fine. Kitchen would work too.
Yeah, I'll just head down to the, well, I specifically meant, like, cafeteria.
That's valid.
Where, like, everybody eats. Get myself a little bit of breakfast, because I know, like, or maybe a lot of bit of breakfast, because I probably won't get a chance to eat until, like,
late
this afternoon.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, just packing it away, basically.
They do have an assortment. So what would you know for a fact that one of the things about becoming a soldier is a lot of folks do it because of the fact that they get good food. Like, they are honestly doing better, and it's very much a controversial topic too, but a lot of people join the military who are on that cusp of being poor and not able to provide, because they will make sure they get paid a steady wage and they're going to get 3 meals a day. And typically the meals are pretty good unless, you know, it's wartime or something to that effect, or the area that you're stationed. But that is definitely a topic that has popped up. So what would Diadora be grabbing this morning? They have a large spread.
I think she does her best to grab some of everything. I think she'll probably start with, like, maybe like a bowl of, like, oatmeal with, like, some fruit, like dried fruits and nuts in it and stuff, like something like that's very like hearty.
Sure.
And warm and filling. Yeah, I think, you know, get some eggs in there, get some bacon, bacon on the side, you know, just sort of like, just a variety of different things that she knows will fill her up and also give her the energy that she needs for the day.
Sure.
And also I think she does, like, in the years that she's been here, she always does her best to try one new thing at meal times, even if it looks weird to her. Because she can't read, but she's very adventurous when it comes to food.
Sure.
So it's like, I don't know what this is, but I'm gonna try it anyway. And it's like, maybe that benefits her in some ways, because, you know, some people are like, you just don't tell them what it is, and it'll be just fine.
Yep.
Not that she's very picky, but I think, like, she'll maybe try, like, I don't know, beans on toast today or something like that. I don't know.
Sure. Do you eat inside or outside? The mess hall
outside,
has,
for sure.
Okay. Yeah, the mess hall kind of has, they close it in the winter, but they do have, like, an outdoor area with tables set up for those that just want to process the morning out in nature a bit more.
She definitely tried, like, just sort of in, like, the main campaign, she definitely tries to spend as much time outdoors as she can, because that's what she's used to. Like, I mean, that her time here isn't going to erase the fact that she is used to being outside, traveling, seeing the stars, seeing the, you know, breathing fresh air all the time.
Sure. So. Definitely understand that. Why don't you roll a perception check for me, please?
Oh my goodness, first roll. Also, I never fixed my character sheet from the last game, so I need to take a long. I need to fix my stats real quick.
Yeah, make sure you take a long rest.
Yeah. Okay, perception.
Mm-hmm.
As it rolls off the fucking desk. Oh, not great. That's a 10.
Okay. It's a peaceful morning. There's a couple birds that come and land at the table with you, but you are... Tell me this. Would Diadora be one that established their morning routine as I would like to be alone in the morning, or wanting to be part of that socialization that happens in the morning?
I think before breakfast, she's 100% please don't talk to me, but when she has, like, her food, Because for her, food, like eating and meal times, those are the times for socializing. Like that's kind of what brings people together.
Sure.
So she is definitely like open to having conversations and socializing over meals because, you know, that's just what she's used to, and meal times are a special time.
Yeah. You see that, like I said, several birds come and join you. Eventually, Jeremy does kind of rummage over to you, kind of looking a mess. Armor is very much out of place. His hair is looking like he got electrocuted. It's all over the place. He's got like this thing of drool along the side of his face that he just has not gotten rid of. This little halfling is just trying his best, but he kind of clambers over the table across from you with his tray, which you can see that even though he hurried, Lieutenant Sandora definitely gave him some points off, which, can sometimes be the taking of some food. So he only has some beans, one single strip of bacon, and some water, because he's just not presentable coming down. And he just looks really sadly at his plate. You can almost practically see the little storm clouds like forming over his head as he's not happy.
I push some eggs over to him. I push some eggs over. I have enough food for 2 people, let's be honest.
Are you sure about this? Because this is your food. Like, Sandora's gonna, like, get really pissy if she sees this.
It's fine.
Are you sure?
I'm not worried about it. Yeah.
You are fearless. He just starts taking bites of the egg.
Like, Diadora's like, I was gonna say she'd be like, what's she gonna do, beat my ass? But probably, yeah. But also it's like, I'm not a pushover.
No.
Like, I could take her. And also, I imagine that Diadora, for the most part, has a pretty good track record. So it's just like, her breaking a rule or two to help somebody and make sure that they are taken care of wouldn't be that big of a deal. Especially because, like, we are soldiers and, like, you have to make sure your fellow soldier is fit.
Mm-hmm.
So letting them be hungry is not going to serve any purpose.
Definitely understand that. And he kind of winks at you as you give him the eggs, and he just quickly eats them as quickly as possible. Because you do see Sandora walking around, kind of doing the rounds.
I think, like, as he's quickly eating, I'm like, I'm still eating with one hand. With my other hand, I'm, like, adjusting his armor. Like, trying to make him look more presentable. Like, handing him a napkin to wipe the drool off of his face. Because I'm not your mom. I'm not going to do that for you.
Thanks, yeah.
Like, trying to smooth out his hair a little bit so it looks more presentable. Just, like, you need to get it together.
For sure. And he does appreciate you immensely. I don't have any ale this morning, but next time I get it, it's all you.
You had a lot of ale last night, I assume.
I did.
Mm-hmm.
It was good ale, but...
It is, but... when we have to be on duty, it might not be worth it.
Let's see, you're more adventuresome when it comes to Sandora. I'm more adventuresome when it comes to getting that drink. Because you never know when it might be your last.
True. But I'll say, by you being adventurous getting your drinks, you're also being very adventurous with Sandora.
Ooh, yeah, no. I don't like that. So, this is why you're the brains of the operation. Just kind of nods and goes back to eating. Your morning, for a fact, is open for about another hour. They give an hour for breakfast. Some people need the full hour, others do not. So what would Diadora be doing with this time? Would you be walking around or just kind of sitting and looking at everything? What would you be doing?
I think she would be walking around and looking at everything, like,
Okay.
Getting her steps in. But also just trying to, like, she can be a sociable person, but also like needing to get in that mind space of this is what I'm going to be doing for the day.
Sure.
And so just kind of like taking the time to get her in the focus that she needs to be in.
Definitely appreciate that. Why don't you roll another perception check for me, please?
Oh God. Okay. I'm using a different die this time. Oh my God. The die are not kind to Diadora today. That is a 14.
Okay. You see several Crownsguard are moving onto the training field to practice sparring. Typically it takes teams of about 5 where it'll be 1-on-4, kind of training to get that kind of swing down and being needing to defend themselves from multiple targets. It's not necessarily using swords, but more of like a small dagger. They're kind of getting training for, taking on those thieves that'll happen sometimes in cities or in various spots. So how to disarm without hurting, that kind of thing. So you see several people are kind of doing that. You hear the trailing of footsteps behind you, but when you turn to look, nobody there.
Can I think like I'll just maybe be a little bit more alert. I feel like
Sure.
I know what's going on, but like, we'll play pretend for a bit.
Sure. Okay. The hour moves by, and eventually, Diadora, you are called by Sandora to head to the sparring pits as well to begin your training. So,
Okay.
For the day. So, we are going to do some sparring, some dice rolls to see how this does.
Stop fucking me.
I mean, at least it's going to be non-lethal, so that's, good. But still, it can hurt.
Says who? Just kidding.
Oh, man. You see that you are put in a group with... it's easily the more advanced group. You have excelled in your experiences outside of Eligress and brought that here. So you are not in the group that Jeremy is in. Jeremy is at the more basic kind of 101 kind of sparring. Instead of 4, he's dealing with 2 kind of thing. And they're not big hulking. You see that they're 2 fellow halflings that are kind of trying to help.
The beefiest halflings you've ever seen.
Why don't you roll a D100 for me, please?
I don't even take those out, Jordan. You know this.
Well, it's fun to ask.
I'll just use D&D Beyond. $77.
Okay. You see that you are paired with what appears to be a barbarian. Them to kind of use that energy to do that. Large fire genasi barbarian, which is kind of hilarious to see them just holding this little tiny dagger instead of this like large greatsword that they're known for carrying. You see also a changeling druid type. He's got these large kind of, it almost looks like mold kind of going up partially to give him some horns on either side of his face. Again, also alarming to see him, who's usually carrying around a staff of some sorts, teeny tiny kind of toothpick dagger.
I don't even have a dagger on my character sheet, so I'm gonna go ahead and add one.
Yep, there you go. And these are all made of wood. They're not like actual daggers.
So you mean it's not? I can't have a +3 dagger?
No.
Is that what? What?
No, you cannot. The last one appears to be a small gnome woman. She's got vibrant red hair. She's more of like kind of she's been training under the blacksmiths, but you know, they do cross training just to make sure that, you know, if she needs to, she can step in. Again, you're used to seeing a big hammer in her hand, and instead you see this kind of toothpick dagger.
All of us are just holding these like dinky daggers,
Yeah.
like we're used to this, but also we still look at them like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with this?
For sure. So why don't we go ahead and roll initiative?
Okay.
That'll be fine.
Okay. That's a dirty 20.
Nice. You get to go first. Each of them are about 5 or 6 feet away from you. You know you have to stay within the circle in terms of doing that. And your goal is to get the knife out of their hand and to restrain them. So who do you move in? All of them are ready. Kind of like think of like Soul Calibur or one of those games. Like ready to launch, but it just hasn't happened yet.
Yeah. They're all doing their movement, like waiting for their turn. I think I'm going to go for the druid first because magic, crafty. I still don't. Even now, I'm like, I don't trust that shit.
Sure.
So yeah, I'll go after them first. So I guess I will roll. Am I rolling to hit? I'm rolling to take the dagger away, right?
Yep. So you will be rolling to hit, and then you'll describe how to kind of, whether you're knocking it from their hand or something to that effect.
I crit.
Oh, okay.
So that's a 27 to hit.
Yeah, that definitely hits. What does it look like as you are getting this blade from the changeling druid that again has that kind of mold kind of looking horns on either side of his head, looking very surprised that you move so quickly?
Yeah, I think I like lunge for them, and like it's very unceremonious. I like lunge for them, make it like do like a feint attack on one side, and then just like snatch the dagger out of their hand.
I love that.
And like toss it out of the circle.
Perfect. They still face you, ready to attack. Is there anything else you would like to do, Diadora?
Well, we talked. I only have the one attack,
yes.
So no.
But are there bonus actions or anything that you can do?
There are no bonus actions that I want to do right now.
Okay,
I'll
got
say.
it. All right. The Goliath is going to move forward. Is coming in from the right side. As you just kind of took initiative and wrecked this druid before it even started. And it's going to come in with a dagger attack for a 19 to hit.
That hits.
Okay. That is going to be 7 points.
Okay.
Non-lethal. You feel the blade kind of hitting your armor where there's actually a section of it that is your like actual clothing underneath.
Yeah. I get a splinter.
Yeah. That's painful.
I know. It sucks. I regretted it the second I said it.
You do that. The gnome is going to move in next, this time from the left side. They're kind of pincering you in. That is going to be a 15 to hit.
That misses, and I'm going to use my reaction to riposte.
Yes, go for it.
Hold on, let me make sure I remember. It's been a month. Now I don't know how to do my shit. What's up to the attack? That's going to be a 24 to hit.
That hits.
Okay. And then what am I fucking? What's a dinky D4? Okay. That's gonna be 11 damage.
Okay. All right. What does it look like as you are gentle reposing?
Did you say gentle reposing?
Listen.
I'm gentle reposting.
Sick. Yes.
Gentle. I think it's like she misses me, and this is. This
so
is the
mean
gnome,
to
right?
me.
This is the gnome,
Yeah,
right?
this is the gnome.
She misses me, and I think Diadora just sort of like reaches down, palms her face, and then pushes her back.
Love it.
Because it's non-lethal. It's almost like boop, just like
Yep.
like a sibling to their
Sit
younger
down.
sibling. Just get the fuck out of here.
Leave me alone. I'm sick. Okay. Dear Lord.
Gentle riposte.
I mean, you got her on her ass, so kind of. So like. Okay. All right. It is your move.
Okay, I'm gonna go after Big Beefy.
Okay.
Oh, he can't be Big Beefy because the Minotaur is Big Beefy. I'll have to think of something else. That's a 25 to hit.
That hits.
Okay. I don't have any D4s out. 7 damage.
Okay.
And then
Hitting.
I think since my objective is to disarm
Sure.
most first and then grapple and restrain. I think I'm just like trying to get that dagger out of his hand, so I just go in like after the wrist that's holding the of the hand that's holding the dagger to try to like see if I can disarm him.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
And then I'm actually gonna use my bonus action to do 2 weapon fighting, so I'm gonna go ahead and attack.
Nice. Go for it.
That's not gonna hit. It might hit. He's a barbarian. That's a 13.
Misses. He
No.
just
Alright.
smacks literally slaps it away as you're coming in. It's almost like he's using his hand as a shield to just kind of knock your dagger away. Not out of your hands, but just out of his kind of view. Okay. Anything else you wish to do?
That's it for now.
Okay. He is going to go ahead and make another attack against you.
Okay.
Which I doubt hits with a 5. So he kind of is just...
Ow! Just kidding. That's a crit.
He kind of is just correcting himself and like trying to get back into that stance. Actually, roll a survival check for me, please.
God, fucking, it's an 8.
Okay. You were still getting the idea of, looking at a person's feet versus their face when fighting. But you can tell that, even by the look on his face, that he is having a hard time kind of centering himself and is, instead of like taking a moment and then attacking, just kind of reacting out of sheer will. He's just, it's kind of like, honestly, the idea of like a stumbling baby, just kind of reacting and just not actually planning their next move ahead. Versus...
This is a new turn, right?
Yes, this would be a new turn.
Okay. I'm gonna use my reaction to riposte.
Go for it.
Oh, that's gonna hit. That is a 26.
That definitely hits.
Okay.
So he's kind of stumbling back, trying to get himself firmly planted before attacking again. As you come in.
That's 13 damage.
Okay. He is bloodied. You can tell he's looking tired by this as well, but he still has some juice in him ready to go.
Okay.
All right. Anything else you wish to do?
It's not my turn.
Okay. Yeah. Hi. It's great. I'm sick. All right. The changeling is gonna go. And they are going to try to grapple you. So I need you to make a strength savings throw, because I believe a 21 does hit.
21 does hit. Okay, strength save. Oh, fuck. I'm using my inspiration.
Go for it, yeah.
That was a sip. That was a 9.
Oh no.
Okay, which die? Which one are you?
It's a D12.
Today? Oh, right, it's a fucking D12.
Yeah.
I forgot it's not a reroll. I always forget that.
Yep. So you just add a D12 to the roll.
Okay. I don't have those out either, so I'll just use Oh my god, no. It's a 3.
No.
So that's 12.
Okay. They immediately kind of just, as you were so focused on the Goliath and your attention is kind of shifting again to see where this attack might be coming in, they attack you from behind and pin you down to the ground.
Okay.
So, that is where you are currently at.
Yep.
The changeling is going to try to just hold on. That's all they're doing.
Okay.
The gnome is going to move in for an attack now, and they're going to be trying to get the dagger that you were holding out of your hand.
Okay.
So, this is critted because they are close. So that is going to be a 19 to hit, and I need you to make another strength save as you're trying to hold on to the dagger.
Oh my god. Eating shit today. That's a 17. Oh wait, sorry, no. 16.
Okay. You feel the dagger starting to slip from your hand. You are holding on to it with the tips of your fingers. You just barely have it. They were unable to get the dagger out of your hand. It is your move. You are held, so you'll need to, if you want to move, you'll need to make a strength save to get out of it, or a dex, depending on what you're trying to do.
I'm gonna get out. I'm just gonna kind of just like aggressively get out of it.
Sure. Go for it.
18.
Okay. And I will roll it. How are you doing, strength or dexterity?
That was strength. Actually, let me reroll that because I did my math wrong. I did a strength saving throw, so just strength, and I was like, and then I put the die away. That's a dirty 20.
Okay.
Or actually, would it be athletics to get out?
It could be either or. That's why I was kind of giving you dexterity, depending on how you're wiggling out.
Oh, okay. Well, athletics is still strength.
Sure.
So if it's athletics, then that's a 23.
You are able to wiggle free, because with a 7, they do not keep hold of you. So.
Okay. And that's basically my action, right?
Yes.
I don't really have any bonus actions that I can take right now. Or, I guess I could shift. Maybe. I think I'll do that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna shift as my bonus action, so I get a +1 to my armor, and then I get some temp HP.
Okay.
I think I have to roll a d6.
What does it look like as you shift?
It's like it's happening simultaneously as I'm getting out of this grapple. It's sort of like I'm like basically maybe crawling sort of out of this druid's grasp, and as I do so, it's just like, you know, you hear like the cracking of joints and limbs as it's like as they elongate.
Sure.
My mouth sort of gets a little bit almost snout-like, not fully, but it's like, you know how when a dog is smiling, it kind of looks like that a little bit, just like teeth.
Sure.
Eyes glowing gold, things like that.
Love
just
that.
Beefy. And I now have 12 temp HP.
Love that. Amazing. Okay. The Goliath is going to try to make an attack against you.
Okay.
The misses with a 6. So they just kind of lunge for you, missing completely.
Riposte. Why not?
Go for it.
That's gonna be a math 24.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay. Sorry.
No, you're fine. Listen, we haven't played in a little bit, so math is a lot.
That's 11. Yeah, 11 damage.
All right. How do you non-lethally disarm this Goliath? This is it. He was down to literally 9 hit points.
Okay. I think I go in for his wrist again, like I did before. But this time I think I just grab his wrist And if you'll allow me to,
Sure.
since I'm taking him out, I want to just flip him down onto the ground. Maybe even, like, out of the ring. Because he has to stay in the ring, right?
Yep.
In order to, like, win.
Still staying, yeah.
I want to throw him out.
Okay. Love that. Yeah. You are able to just kind of, it's one of those instances where he's lunging forward and you're using the weight of him and his inertia to just
Using
kind
his
of
momentum.
Yeah, and move him right out. Yeah. All right. The Goliath is done. You still have the Changeling and the Gnome left.
Yep.
All right.
But it is, that's it for my turn, though.
Yep.
Because I can only do the one.
Sure.
Oh, that wasn't even my turn.
Yeah, you were gentle. That thing.
Riposting.
Yeah.
Gentle riposting. Yeah. Gently throwing him out of the fucking ring.
We need merch that says that.
Slap him on the ass with the dagger. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Get out of here. All right. All right. The Changeling is up next. And they are going to try to grapple you again.
Okay.
Misses again. 9.
I trip him. I can't do that again. That was my reaction. I'm just saying for flavor, I trip him.
As they kind of stumble forward. Lastly, the Gnome is going to move forward. Still the only one holding their dagger, as the Changeling does not have theirs. 19 to hit.
That hits.
Okay. And that is going to be 8 points of damage, as they are actually going to kind of fake out. It looks like they're going to hit you with the dagger right in like your stomach plate, and instead they actually quickly kind of change it so it's their elbow that comes in and knocks you right in the stomach. Your armor takes the blow, but you do feel it kind of ricocheting through you and reverberating as it does hit.
Diadora looks unfazed by this. Like, just goes like, just the softest grunt.
Sure.
Because, that just took away some temp HP, baby. I'm good.
Love it. It is your turn.
Okay, I'm going to grapple this druid.
Okay, go for it.
So, crit.
Nice.
So I think I just put them like a headlock, almost like with their arms up, sort of just grapple them that way.
Sure.
So they can't like do anything. And with that crit, can I like just walk them out of the ring?
Yeah, I'll allow it.
Get the fuck out of here. Okay, great.
Sit down.
Yeah, like go sit down. You're done.
Love it. All right, it is just the Gnome remaining.
Yeah, I think. Oh shit! I realized when I took the barbarian down, I didn't do my extra bonus attack from Great Weapon Master.
Do you want to take that back? We can recon a little bit.
No, it's fine.
Are you sure?
Yeah, or maybe can I just do it on the gnome now?
Yeah, I'll allow that.
Okay. Is that a... Oh, I don't hit.
Okay.
Or 14?
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. No. Unfortunately. Okay.
Ooh, actually, I lied. I'm gonna use a superiority die to make that a precision attack.
Okay.
18.
That does just it. Yeah.
Fucking mechanics, people. Use your mechanics. I rolled poorly. Oh, I think I add this to my damage too. So 9 damage.
Okay. All right. They are still up. Looking a little like they're taking wear and tear, but still have some energy about them. They are going to go ahead and try and make another attack against you. And they're actually going to try to knock you out of the ring.
Okay.
That is going to be a dirty 20 as they
That
kind of
hits.
bum rush you.
Mm-hmm.
I will allow this. Make a either strength or constitution savings throw as you are trying to just barrel in and stay in the ring.
Ooh. Yeah, I don't. That's
Okay.
an 11.
Okay. Roll a d4 for me, please.
Okay. Four.
Okay. The ring behind you is 5 feet. You move back 4.
Oh.
So you're still in the ring. Just barely,
Okay.
but you are still in the ring.
Okay.
It is your turn.
Okay, I'm gonna, I'm just gonna grapple
Sure.
them and try to, like, Una reverse the situation.
Sure.
Ugh. I think I have another inspiration. I'm gonna use that.
Go for it.
Because that's 14, so if I could just do... 19.
That hits.
Oh, child. Okay, so I... Oh wait, I said I was gonna grapple them. I don't... Yeah, that's still... Sorry, I got confused because I was looking at my...
No, it's all good.
I forgot it's all the same fucking number. It's all the same modifier. Okay, so I just want to, like, I guess pick her up by the scruff. And just sort of... She still has the dagger, so I haven't disarmed her yet.
Correct.
No, I can't use 2-weapon fighting for that. Yes, I'll just restrain her for now until I can get the dagger out of her hand.
All right, she's going to try to break free. With a 19, as she tries to roll a strength save as you're trying to hold.
It's cocked. Ooh, 18.
She is able to just barely get free, literally slipping like water through your fingers as she kind of just rolls out of your grasp. She is still within range.
Okay.
That's it for her. She can't do anything else because it takes her full action to do that.
Yeah.
So it is your turn.
Okay. I'm gonna just try to disarm her now, so I'm gonna attack. I don't. It's 13.
Okay.
This is, and I don't have any more superiority die people, so
Okay.
it's gonna have to be what it. Oh, I can do my bonus action like 2-weapon fighting.
There you go.
Oh, that's gonna hit. That's a 26.
Yeah, that definitely hits.
7.
How do you want to do this as you take this gnome blacksmith out non-lethally?
Yeah, I just sort of like, I was gonna say push her again, but no, I won't do that. I think I just like, almost like when you're with a toddler and you sort of like grab them by the arm, I like pick her up by her arm and like just kind of just shake the dagger out of her. And basically, she's like shaking. I'm just like, let go right now. and then I drop her.
The dagger falls to the ground. You are out of combat. And as you were kind of collecting yourself and dusting yourselves off, you hear from behind you, slightly above, because you know there's usually God, I'm blanking on the word, like a balcony-esque to kind of watch everything happening. You hear the sound of clapping. It's very slow clapping.
Look up.
That is where we're going to take our break.
On the slow clap?
The slow clap.
The disrespectful slow clap?
So, that is where we're going to take our 10-minute break. Go get some food, go hydrate, go walk around a little bit, and we'll be back shortly with more Diadora and her story. Stay tuned.
Easy to.
I'm bored.
We can go scream at the cat for another hour.
Nah, I'm tired of screaming at the cat.
Shut up with that! Be bored no more with 1985 games. Enjoy their vast variety of products and help bring your tabletop to a whole new level. With easy-to-use dungeon sticky notes. The deck of stories holds prompts and adventure hooks for any setting, and thousands of cutout game pieces with their dungeon craft.
You've come all this way for nothing, fool! The princess is mine! You'll never get away with this, Balakor!
Write everything down in your Hero Notes journal and start your adventure today! Visit the World Wide Web address 1985games.com and find many helpful products such as their Dungeon Craft series, battle maps, deck of stories, miniatures, dungeon notes, and now VHS dice. Again, that's 1985games.com.
Everybody. And welcome back to our interlude with Diadora / Fair. I hope you got some food, stretched, water, because hydration is important, especially with water. So make sure you do that. For those of you that are just joining us, we have been seeing Diadora in the military barracks at Eligress. Making somewhat friends with at least her floor mate, Jeremy, a halfling who, big dreams, absolute mess. As well as just had just had a bit of a sparring with a Goliath changeling and a gnome, trying to basically disarm them with their wooden daggers and get them knocked out of the ring. So we were picking up from there as the sounds of the battle kind of waged down, and you hear behind you, up on one of the... We're going to go with the balcony. It's not a balcony, but it's fine. Risers. There's a riser that's above. You turn to see a gray-haired human with bright gold armor. He has a blue sash that kind of goes across his plate and around his kind of neck. It kind of flows behind him in a little bit of kind of this cloak cape. He has a large greatsword to his right side, as well as there is a very familiar emblem of a blue river with a tree and a diamond in the middle. You know this to be Commander Tynail, and he is slowly clapping. Next to him, you do see Lieutenant Sandora Lynn just kind of nodding approvingly in your direction.
I give it like a playful bow as he's coming.
He kind of smacks the railing where he's at a couple times and making the sound reverberate through. At this point, getting the attention of several of the fighters that are still kind of doing their things. That's how it's done. That is very well done, Diadora.
Thank you, sir.
You've come a long way.
Thank you for noticing, and for saying so.
Tell me, Lieutenant Sandora, could I possibly borrow Diadora for a little bit? There's nothing on her schedule for for the next hour at least. Well, nothing fruitful, it's just more sparring, and after that I don't think you necessarily need it.
I'll look to Lieutenant.
Sandora looks a mixture of like deer in the headlights. Sure. Yeah, we can arrange that. That's not a problem. For sure. We'll just we'll rework the groups a bit. It shouldn't be a problem at all, Commander. Like very much that like butt kissery, kind of just bowing slightly and just like. Obviously is very inconvenienced by this, but is not going to say anything about it.
Yeah, you're not going to say no to your commander.
No. And Commander will kind of gesture towards you. You see him walking along the rail towards a set of stairs until he's down with you. You can hear, based off of your passive perception, the grumblings from the Goliath, the changeling, and the gnome, as they are... clearly not happy with what is happening, and that you are being kind of favorited at the moment.
God. I just ignore it. Like, I don't acknowledge it, even though I hear it, and I've probably heard people say things like this about me before, especially when I first got here, and so it was just like, the reason why I'm good is because I had to prove myself a lot.
Sure. Why don't you roll another perception check, by the way?
Oh my god. Please. Oh my god. 13. I'm not... Out of character, the dice are like, you are not seeing this you are not seeing this boy. You are not seeing him.
Actually, you are, because he rolled an 11. You finally see... there's a bit of a wagon right by, like, the stables. And you see, still enamored from your last fight, looks to be about 13, 14-year-old boy, who is literally just like fanboying you, has been trying to hide, and he's holding like two wooden swords, clearly was waiting to approach you, but now that his grandfather is here, it's not really a good time. So he looks a little bit like, you see him skulking a little bit to try to not have his grandfather notice him. But you notice him immediately. He apparently has been following you all morning and looking for the opportune time to kind of corner you. And you just see him kind of just kind of holds back a little bit.
I think it's like, I'm used to this, and like, you know, I've trained him every once in a while, but like, you know, like whenever he comes over, like, you know, I make sure to take time to like, you know, speak to him or anything. So like, I'll like sort of see him from the corner of my eye and sort of like maybe do a signal with my hand that he might be familiar if he likes, like later.
Sure.
Like, try to find me later and we'll, you know, spar.
Do some sparring. Yep. And he nods some recollection. You can see he's very much putting on that face of like, oh, this doesn't bother me. I'm just, you
like,
know, yeah, like
watching your dreams be dashed across the rocks.
As Commander Tynale literally is on the opposite side of the wagon, and looking in your direction, doesn't see little Gregory hiding.
I think I'll like I'll do my best during this interaction just to make sure he never sees.
Sure. Sure. Okay. And you walk up to Commander Tynale?
Yes.
Okay. He gestures for you to walk with him, and you end up heading out of the barracks, more into the Azora forest. It looks like you're heading slowly into the direction of like the fields, which are just a little bit further away. It's a beautiful day. The birds are chirping. At this point, the sun has shifted slightly. The canopy of trees are keeping you shaded, minus the smatterings of sun that kind of peeks onto the forest floor. So, you've been settling in. How are you finding it here?
Loud.
Yeah.
And smelly.
Afraid we can't do much to help with that. That's why these walks are always good.
Yes, but I'm enjoying, you know, my lessons. I feel like I'm learning a lot.
Good. Your sparring skills have definitely improved. How are you finding it, though, with incorporating it into your kind of style? Every soldier, every fighter has a unique style to them. I don't ever want to be that kind of commander that you have to do things a very specific way. Honestly, Sandora is a bit more like that. But are you finding it adaptable? Just because it's
I would say it's the sword stuff is unique. The grappling and sparring, not so much, you know. My tribe, we would wrestle a lot, so that's familiar to me.
Sure.
I do enjoy learning the sword work, though. It's new.
You're very good at it.
I like it. Thank you.
I have not seen such promise in, I'm not even going to say a soldier, in a warrior such as your capabilities in a long time. So,
Think you see, like, there's like a small smile that forms, like an almost bashful smile that forms. Like, oh, thank you, Commander. I appreciate you giving me the opportunity. I just want to make you and my mother proud.
What about making yourself proud?
Oh, well, I mean, I'm always proud of myself.
Good. Because at the end of the day, Your mother and I could be as proud of you as possible, but if you are not proud of yourself, then what's the point of doing it?
I agree with that. If I wasn't proud of myself, I would not still be here. I would have just left.
Good.
In the dead of night.
Good to know. He kind of gives you this very, like, Good to know. Honestly, you didn't hear this from me. You should maybe try that one night. Just to see if the night guards will actually notice. That could be a fun little activity.
Yeah, maybe I'll try that soon, and I'll let you know how it goes, or you'll just hear about it.
Yeah, maybe just give me a heads up so I don't actually think you're deserting, you know?
Oh, of course.
Rather not have to hunt after you if I don't have to, you know?
I mean, good luck.
That's very fair. You're very capable. As he is saying this, we are going to flash back a little bit to a couple years ago where Diadora, you're home. You're home not within the barracks, but within the community of wargs that you've been raised with. The ones that never really stay in a place for too long. Which, that's another thing to kind of keep in mind with the barracks. You've been there for a couple of years. You're used to moving around every couple of months, especially with the changing of seasons. And never really seeing an actual city or town. Always being just on the cusp of it. You're, at this point, about 17, and walking through the woods where you hear a shout. This does not sound like your siblings. Which, would you mind describing your siblings for me?
Yeah, I would love to as soon as I remember what I sent you like a year ago, Jordan. You asshole. I think I just have a brother.
I think so.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I just have a brother. Okay. My brother is Indigo Shade Sun. They have deep dark skin like Diadora, same dark eyes with the gold rims around the pupils and iris. Their hair is in black. Their hair is black in dreads, like short dreads, kind of longer on one side than the other. It's like he and Diodora have like similar hairstyles because it's just like they're so close that it's like they don't really they're close enough in age, like almost to like almost to the point where it's like sometimes people mistake them as twins.
Sure.
Because they look so much alike and everything. He is a rogue, so she would not be surprised if he was just sneaking around the forest, similar to Gregory following her.
Sure.
But yeah, he's like maybe an inch. Actually, he's taller than me, Diodora, because I forgot Diadora's short. He's much taller than Diodora. I think like 6'1".
Okay. And is he older or younger?
He is. I did not say that. I did not write that in my little thing. I would say he's older.
Okay. So he is one that is expected to kind of be one of eventually the leaders of the group that you are with. It's not that you were seen as like the spare, it's more of the stability of the community itself. So you do get attention, but not as much as your brother does within the community, which is, I think, one of the reasons why Diadora, maybe is not as talkative and more so observes how everything is before diving in. Whereas her brother just kind of exudes charisma and just jumps into everything first, thinking about it later. You're able to just kind of skim by with expectations still being set upon you, but not as many as are on him. With that. So you're out in the woods, and you hear a shout coming up from ahead. And what do you do?
I like pause for a moment,
Sure.
just like sort of one, catch like exactly the directions coming from, and two, like sort of gauge like what kind of yell this is. You know, it's not my brother, it's not maybe one of the other kids that's in the village, but like it might not be a bad yell.
Sure.
So I don't want to like interrupt something that's going on, but then I think like I'll sort of creep up in the direction just to see like what's going on.
Sure.
And if it's nothing bad, I'll just like leave.
Okay, why don't you do a survival check for me?
Okay. That is a 11.
11? Okay.
11.
You can kind of gauge the direction it's coming from. It's coming up ahead on the path. You know, not many people traverse this far outside. Even amongst your kind of community space. No one goes out this far without usually a team to kind of survey the area as you're moving. Wanting to kind of just avoid certain annoyances and just kind of stay to your own. You see up ahead, there's a large clearing where instead of vegetation on the forest floor, it's sand. It's a very quick transition too. It's not subtle in any way, shape, or form. All of a sudden it goes from forest and heavily vegetated and hearing the sounds of animals around you to all of a sudden just having this sand in front of you, and there's a large boulder in the very center of this clearing that goes around about 50-60 feet in kind of proximity. It's in a large circle. Based off of your survival check, you're not able to see any tracks, really. You do notate the sand has kind of an odd shape to it, where it seems like there's a circular kind of trail around it. Imagine like someone taking a stick and tracing a circle around this rock that goes out.
Okay. Yeah.
And you see kind of out in this clearing a soldier. They're wearing more of a silver armor, blue sash. His hair is not grayed as of yet. It's got more of the blonde kind of tinge to it. In your memory, you know this to be Commander Tino. You see he is struggling to kind of stay up as the sand's kind of sinking down. But on top of that, there's a movement around the rock itself. You see it shifting and quaking very slightly. Pause for dramatic effect. After a moment, you see it looks like this kind of barbed leg sticking out from the side on the right hand side. Another one popping out on the left.
Of this rock.
Yeah, it's like coming out from
That's
underneath
clearly
this-
not a rock.
Yeah.
That's clearly not a
It's
fucking
clearly
rock.
not a rock.
God damn. Ugh. horrifying.
You see, after a few more moments, kind of burrowing from the sand, first an eye kind of popping up, this black, it looks almost like blackened wheat that's gone moldy, but it's large and very thick. You also see it pop up, and you see this creature kind of rising. To give you an idea of what it looks like, a very large hermit crab, kind of just burrowing out.
Oh my god.
Of this thing. And you see Tynil is trying his best to both try to get his ground, but also get out as the sand is sinking and pulling him closer to this creature. What do you do?
Yeah. I rush out to help him.
Okay. Let's go ahead and roll initiative. It doesn't necessarily mean you'll be doing battle, but it just means the order of operations.
Yeah. That's a 15.
Okay. Alright, give me 1 moment to get the music back up. I'm sorry, what was that, Diadora?
15?
15. Okay. Alright, and... Alright, first up is the crab. As it rises up from the sand, it is going to use one of its large pincers to hit Tynil. This thing is towering, to give you an idea. It's about like 14-15 feet. The rock itself is acting as the shell. The claws very easily can grab Tynil if need be. So he is going to try to grab him. And just misses, kind of comes swooping in as Tynil kind of loses his footing slightly with the sand and drops for a moment, able to get up as the sand's kind of sticking to him, both with the rising of this creature. Why don't you roll another survival check for me, please?
Oh, that's better. That's a 22.
Okay. You know it's very rare, but there are moments, especially when you're traveling, quicksand is present. So this thing is using its ability to kind of hold its own. It's sinking too, but it's able to kind of maneuver itself a little bit more steadily versus the very weighted down commander. The commander is going to try to use his movement to get away. He is not able to. You kind of see him just like moving through molasses, just trying to take a step back while also keeping an eye on this thing. You see kind of a look of panic in his eyes. It's not reading on his face as this is happening. But Diadora, it is your move.
Okay. How far out is he from me?
He is about 20 feet.
Okay, perfect. What I want to do is I want to tie a rope around a tree.
Okay.
And then run out, and like after I do that, run out to the rest of the rope to like the edge of where this quicksand starts.
Okay.
And like hand it to him and try to like pull him out.
Okay. Why don't you do a dexterity check to see how well you can knot the rope?
God, fucking please. Fuck me. Dexterity check. I'm not dexterous at all. That's a 10.
Okay. Does sleight of hand give you anything?
No.
Okay.
It's my dex is a +1.
You think it'll hold it? You're not 100% sure, but it's a knot.
Could I argue for survival because knowing ropes and stuff?
Yes, I will allow that.
Okay, so that would be a 14.
Okay. You're pretty confident it'll hold. You find a rock with a tree next to it and kind of use both the tree and the rock to kind of anchor it to this spot. And are using the rope to get to the edge. Is there anything else you wish to do?
You would count that as my action, right?
Yep.
Okay. I would just use my movement to go out to as far as I can without me getting caught into this
Sure.
this hit. And like just sort of toss him the rope like, grab on right now. Grab on.
Sure. All right. Why don't you do a strength check to see how far you can throw the rope or the accuracy around it. I'll let you do survival as well because it's a survival tactic.
That one.
Nope. You like make this toss and it right in front of you. Like
Yeah.
it just kind of catches. You're trying to move really quickly. It's just not going as well, and it actually wraps around your hand. So you actually move forward to the point that the tips of your boots are touching the sand, but the rope just falls right in front of you. All right.
That's it.
Crab is going to make 2 attacks against the commander.
Ugh.
Both hit. So the first one is going to be a slashing attack with its kind of more pincer claw, dealing 16 points of damage as it just cuts down. You actually see the kind of sash that he's wearing around his armor, bits of fibers moving in the air and falling into the sand as it hits. His armor is able to take the majority of the blow, minus this cut across his cheek as well. His second attack, he is going to try to grapple the commander. So let's see if the commander can dodge this, because I already know it hits. He is just barely able to, as the claw is kind of closing in around him, he actually uses his momentum that is getting him out of the sand to kind of stand on the claw itself, trying to just stay. And you see him almost doing this kind of barrel dance on it as the claw is just opening and shut. Clearly this thing is very upset that it just missed out on a very simple target. The commander instead is going to try to leap and do an attack on one of its eyes. Misses.
We're doing great.
Doing great. His armor is just a little too heavy. And you see his legs shaking slightly because he's not able to get that perfect purchase of ground as the claws are moving. So he leaps. And just as he's leaping, one of the claws collides with the back left leg, kind of sending his trajectory slightly off. Instead of hitting the eyes, he actually lands on the shell, the rock behind, and he's just kind of holding like a cat on a curtain kind of thing, just holding.
Oh my god.
It is your move, Diadora.
Okay. Here's what I'd like to tell me if you'll allow
Sure.
what might potentially be some bullshit. I want to wrap the end of the rope that I'm holding around like a crossbow bolt and shoot it out with my crossbow to like sort of like embed into like the crab somehow. So
Sure.
it's like
I'll allow it.
so that I'm doing 2 things at once.
Sure. It'll take your
Okay.
bonus action to do that.
My bonus action?
Yeah, to tie it. Which
Okay.
Go ahead and make another survival check with that.
Nat 20, bitch.
Yes! There we go.
Okay. And then I guess I'll roll to attack.
Yep. And tell me where you're aiming.
I kind of want to aim like right under like where the shell is to like into the meat,
Sure.
so that it's like kind of like maybe sticks in between like the meat and the shell, so it's kind of taut,
Yes.
if that's possible.
Yep.
That's gonna be a 17 to hit.
It just hits as you find purchase. It's just for a moment as this crab is kind of shifting and almost trying to shake the commander off. You find just a sliver where the arrow flies, the rope connects right above where it's not necessarily its arm claw, but more of like one of its legs behind it.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And that's 8 damage.
Okay.
And I'll yell at the commander like, grab onto the rope, climb over.
And you hear this, I can't actually do it right now, but this wail of like a high-pitched noise as this thing takes some damage and now is even more upset that there is someone else here trying to take this thing for a ride, and it does not want to. Okay. It is the crab's turn. He is going to... Sorry, I'm choosing between two things. He is going to try to burrow, using his movement to burrow underneath. So we will see if the commander can hang on. He does.
Would he have... Oh, okay. I was going to ask if he would have advantage because the rope is there.
Yes, I gave him advantage
passed.
with that.
Oh, okay.
He hasn't been able to grab it yet, but it's kind of helping to steer him. It's quiet for a moment as this thing burrows completely within the sand. You know where this thing is moving because the rope is shifting as it moves, and it's moving closer to you.
Okay.
So it is going to use its movement to get not right up on you. It's about 5 or 6 feet away, still within the sand, but you can already see the little eyes. Think of like Jaws with the fin just starting to pop up as the rest of the shell is kind of more back, and it's starting to come up. The commander is starting to pop up, like taking a large breath. You see him hanging on for dear life. The commander is going to try to make an attack in the same area you took the arrow. You see him kind of like making an attack to grab it too, kind of trying to do it all in one. His attack misses. Let's see if he can grab the rope. He does grab the rope though. So he is hanging on, but also hanging on to the crab and giving you a look of, what next? Like, kind of, what do we do?
It's like, I don't know. I just know when we kill this, like, in her head, she's like, all I know is that's, free meat right there.
I love it.
And I did Google if you can eat hermit crabs, and you can.
You can.
Just saying.
Yep. Diadora, it is your move. The target has now moved much closer to you.
It's close to me. Okay.
Yep.
I'm gonna... Ooh, I don't know what to do. Because I don't think at this point she would have a sword.
Would she?
I have a maul. I don't know.
I would think it's arguable that she would.
Okay, great. I'll attack the little eyes or whatever's popping out with my sword. To like, and also to like give the commander distraction to maybe get away. That's a dirty 20 to hit.
That hits.
Right. Oh my god. I rolled 2 6s on my d6s.
Nice.
That is 18 damage.
Okay. What does it look like as you are slashing at the eyes of this creature?
I think she's like freaked out because maybe she's like, I don't know if she's never fought one of these, at least by herself.
Sure.
You know? Because I think she's probably seen one of these things before in her travels. So it's just like sort of like she's freaking out because she's alone, but also like determined to like help this person because they're like in a situation that fucking sucks. So it's just like taking her sword to just sort of like trying to slice through the stalks.
Sure. And you do see they take some damage. There's this kind of green ichor that starts to come out of the eyes as you are slashing away at this thing. All right. Anything else you wish to do?
That's it.
All right. The crab is going to swing at you with disadvantage because its sight is slightly compromised at this time. Thank God for disadvantage because that was a nat 20. So
Rip.
that is going to be a 19 to hit.
That still hits.
Okay. It is slashing with its slash claw. That is going to be 11 points of damage. Down the side of you. It's kind of just swiping, moving its head slightly away, moving in your general direction as that happens. The commander seeing what you're doing, he goes, "Thank you, friend," and is going to also slash at the eyes while also moving to get off of this thing onto dry land. Again, misses as he's kind of trying to do two things at once, and he's wearing armor, which is not the most dexterous of things. But he does...
Tell me about it.
But he does land on the forest ground near you, about 2 or 3 feet away. He's still just on the cusp. It is your move.
Okay. I will attack again with my sword.
Go for it.
Oh, baby, that's a 26.
That definitely hits.
11 damage.
Okay. And what, are you going for the eyes again, or?
Yes,
Okay.
I'm gonna keep going at the eyes.
Okay. You see...
Because if it can't see,
Yeah.
then...
The left eye stalk completely bisects. It actually comes off. And you can see that ichor kind of coming off of it again. The right one is just hanging on at this point.
God.
Yeah.
So gross.
Sorry.
No, I love it.
And you again hear that very high-pitched kind of wailing noise as it's taking that damage. All right. Anything else you wish to do?
If you'll allow me to,
Sure.
I would like to use my bonus action to maybe howl, so like other people from my like tribe can know that there's some shit going on. I'm sure they hear like this high-pitched bullshit, but it's like wanting to like warn them like there's some fuckery happening
Sure.
right now.
Yes, I will definitely allow that as your bonus action as you kind of just close your eyes and you can feel yourself connecting with the forest, connecting with both the light and the shadow there, and this cry reaches out. After a few moments, you hear a response. You know this to be your brother Indigo's voice. It's not too far away, but it's gonna probably be a little bit till he can get there. So
Yeah.
But you feel slightly reassured by that. You know that you were not alone in this.
Yeah.
Whether you can trust this soldier or not, you know that there is backup nearby.
Yeah. And at this moment, I don't have any choice but to trust this soldier.
Yep.
Because otherwise, we're both fucked.
Yep. The crab is going to try to make 2 attacks against you at disadvantage. Disadvantage, that is still a 17.
Oh, sorry. Let me.
No, it's
I forgot
okay.
to take my shifted thing off. That does hit.
Okay. That is going to be another 10 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
And then it is going to try to grapple you with its other one. Again, at disadvantage. And with the 7, it just swings, kind of moving closer to you out of the sand itself, but just misses you. You're able to kind of duck underneath its claw as it makes this sweeping kind of motion towards you. The commander is going to, you see him kind of plant his feet somewhat firmly on the ground now that he's not in quicksand, and make 2 attacks. With a slight flourish. The first one misses. The second one is a nat 20, so it does hit.
Ooh.
As he just goes piercing, you almost see little glimmers of starlight kind of bouncing off of his sword. Instead of 1 sword, it looks like there's 4. As these beautiful star beams are going with him, and they just go right into the area where you've been able to pinpoint where there's just a little room between shell and meat. Hitting it for 32 points of piercing damage as he hits Diadora. It is your move.
Okay, I will just keep going.
Go for it.
No. That's 14. I don't think 14 hits.
Nope. You
big beefy crab.
switch forward, and he's able to just kind of maneuver his shell, so it takes the hit. Instead, you hear your blade hitting stone as that happens, and kind of feel the reverberations through the sword itself.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything
That's
else
it.
you wish to do?
Nope.
Okay. Just before the crab goes, you hear another howl. This time a little bit closer.
I'll respond.
Sure. You would know it is basically them saying, I have friends, we're on the way, don't die, kind of thing. Be there soon, is what you get from that. The crab is going to once again try to pincer and slice at you, Diadora.
Okay.
At disadvantage. And the pincer slash is a 15, which I don't think hits you.
Misses.
Yep. So you're just able to kind of parry it out of the way with your sword. The grapple. Disadvantage. I rolled 2 19s. So that's going to be a 21 to
Okay.
grapple.
So do it like an athletics check to try to get out of it?
Yes.
Nope.
All right.
Because that's just a 17.
Okay. You feel the uncomfortableness as this claw grabs you and immediately starts to squeeze as you are wrenched up into the air a couple of feet. It is starting to put pressure on you and what armor you're wearing. It's getting uncomfortable. The commander is going to try to make 2 attacks to try to get you free. First one just misses. He's kind of trying to knock you out of its claw, and he's just not able to get his sword high enough. So he repositions, and this time is going straight for the face of this hermit crab. Rolled a nat 1.
Oh my god.
So the commander lunges forward, and the hermit crab's kind of mouth grabs onto the sword as it comes in and is holding him in place for the moment. And you hear him kind of grunting, trying to get the sword out. Diadora, you are up.
This thing can't see you anymore, right?
Correct. But it can hear.
And I should have been... But if they can't see, then you get advantage on attack rolls.
Correct.
So I should have been rolling with her. That's okay.
It's all
And
good. We'll play
was he
going
rolling with
forward.
advantage?
He was.
Oh, okay.
I rolled a 1 both times. So.
Okay. Instead of trying to get out, I'm just going to attack this thing. Since I'm like up close and personal with it at this point.
Sure.
So. Oh my god, you won't believe what just happened.
What? Nat 20?
No, I got nat 1 on both die.
No.
I'm not kidding.
Oh no.
That's amazing. I have to take a picture.
It's spreading, because that literally just happened to me with the commander, so...
Oh my god, that's so funny.
It has to happen once.
Okay. Alright, Amazing. That's the end of my turn.
Okay. The crab is going to squeeze. I need you to make a Constitution savings throw,
Okay.
as it just squeezes you in between the pincers.
13?
Okay.
No, 12. Sorry, I
12.
know I'm math.
Okay. You are going to take 11 points of force damage as it's pushing everything together. It's very uncomfortable.
Diadora coughs up a little blood, I think.
Oh no.
I'm below half health. It's fine. It's fine, but I should just say,
No.
I'm at 20 out of 59 right now.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, you bloodied. Okay. All right. The commander is going to try to get his sword free and try to make 2 attacks. He gets his sword free. First attack is a 19, which does hit. And he does 21 points of damage as that happens. He is going to try to maneuver over to the claw where he sees you kind of above him. I imagine you're kind of just like trying to make sure this thing doesn't close completely on you. And he kind of just looks at you like, I'm trying. So,
I'm trying to.
Natural 20. As he gets
Oh my God.
you out of the claws, dealing another 32 points of damage. The claw that was holding you gets bisected and drops to the ground. You're going to take 5 points of falling damage. 'Cause you were slightly up. And you were grappled, so that would have made any kind of save to catch yourself or parkour a disadvantage. You're welcome to try if you would like.
That's a dex check?
Yeah.
I only have a +1, so I'd have to like do really, really well.
Sure. That is it for the commander. Diadora, it is your move.
Okay, Diadora wipes the blood trickling from her mouth away and attacks the crab.
Okay.
Oh my god. That's better. God damn. Die rolled another nat 1. I was like, fuck. Thank goodness for advantage. That's a dirty 20.
That hits.
6. That's 10 damage.
Okay. And where are you aiming for?
I guess I'll focus my aim in the same place that the commander's been focusing it, since that's like a weak point
Sure.
that we found to exploit, and I don't want to. At this point, I am in no position to try to experiment in other places.
Well, to set the scene, because now there's 2 points. There's the point where the arrow is, but the claw got bisected, so there is now this kind of meaty portion that has some shell around it, but there is that is closer to you. The other side you would have to move around to get to the other side.
Now here's the thing, Jordan.
Sure.
I, as a crab claw connoisseur, am not trying to damage that meat.
Valid.
I'm trying to cast summon butter later and get my crab boil on.
Get some garlic and
yeah. So I'll just go for it, and like I feel like, I want to get into like that very vulnerable spot that's like underneath the shell.
Sure.
To kind of like continue to like disorient it.
Sure. Okay.
Too. So I'll just go there. And also, I mean, I'm not damaging crab meat. Okay.
Valid. Okay. Anything else you wish to do?
I will second wind.
Smart. Let's also keep in mind, because I know you have your current sheet.
Yeah.
Your points would actually be lowered because.
Yep.
So just keep that in mind.
I am keeping it in mind. I hear you.
Okay.
I understand. I could not tell you what my
No, that's fine.
was.
It's totally fine.
Okay, I just got 10 back.
Okay.
Fine.
Where are you at currently?
I'm at 25.
Okay, so we'll say for the sake of it, because of the leveling, you would actually be at 15.
Oh, okay, so back to, let me just put myself back
down,
to where I just was.
Sorry.
All right. No, that's okay.
For the sake of continuity.
Yeah. Of course.
Okay.
So I think technically I would have been dead already, but
we'll just, you know what?
I have some plot armor.
Yeah, you have a little bit. Very, very slight. Okay. The next few moments you hear another howl, this time much closer. probably about maybe 30 feet behind you. Like, you could practically hear your brother and being like, oh, and then like, oh shit. It's like seeing this happening.
Yeah. I think I respond, but it's very weak.
Oh. So let me roll them into initiative too. Okay.
I have them as I don't have a character sheet for them, but I did put them down as a swashbuckler rogue.
Got it. So. Okay. All right, they roll lower.
I think I meant to make a character sheet for them, and then I forgot.
That's all good. I can do that.
Because I have a character sheet for like the 2 other people in Diadora's backstory.
It's all good. Okay. The crab is going to. It only has its swiping claw remaining. It is just going to. Let's see who it's trying to attack. Either you or the commander. It's going to go for the commander. And that is going to be 2 slashes. First one misses. The commander's lily just steps out of the way as it comes swiping down. The second one is a natural 20. So the commander is going to take...
No! Oh no. Get rid of those dice. What? Stop rolling nat 20s for the crab. Stop rolling good for the crab.
The commander's had a couple. This is the first
I said specifically for the crab. Stop rolling well for the crab.
The commander is going to take 40 points of damage. Is looking a little bloodied. Looking a little worse for wear.
Gang gang.
Yang yang. The commander is going to respond with 2 swipes from his sword. First one misses. He's kind of just recovering from the hit. Hasn't properly figured out his next motion and just was kind of reacting. Second one is also a miss as he's just kind of swaying slightly. That blow took a lot out of him in comparison. Diadora, you are up.
Okay. I will attack. Like I said that so wearily.
It would.
Still have advantage, right?
Yeah.
Okay, great. That's a dirty 20.
That hits.
God damn it. My die are not happy with me, and I don't know why. What did I do to you, babies? That is 6 damage.
Okay.
Nailed it.
Okay. Diadora,
Yes.
sing us that swan song.
I cast Summon Butter. I think, like, Diadora's been dropped. She uses, like, her sword to sort of stand up. And to, like, she's, like, using her, well, I'm sorry. She's using her sword to, like, hold herself up in between attacking, because it's, like, she's hurt, like, her torso's fucked up right now.
Sure.
And she sort of just, like, takes her sword in both hands and just slides it into, like, under the shell and sort of, like, carves around it.
Love it. We are out of combat. As that is happening, you hear the sound of boots kind of hitting the forest floor behind you as Indigo has appeared with about 5 or 6 warg warriors at the ready. All of them looking amazed at you and the commander. And you see a mixture of pride but also jealousy on your brother's face.
I don't know if she would understand the jealousy.
Sure. Something about it just seems off.
Yeah.
I guess you didn't need us.
That's not true.
I mean, not many could take on a sand crab. And you seem to have held your own. As everybody else is kind of like congratulating you. This is like, I imagine everybody's kind of moving, checking the commander as Indigo is approached.
Yeah, I think she'll like look at the crab and look back at Indigo and say, just barely.
You okay?
I will be, I think. I hope. Thank you for coming.
Of course, you called.
Yeah. And I mean, I guess we should get back to the village, but I mean, dinner?
Good dinner. 100%, yes. Yeah, let's get you back. And he kind of puts his goes to put his arm around like your shoulders as the commander comes up to you.
I'll lean against Indigo, like kind of putting my weight on him a little bit, because like I'm still at 15, but it's like
Sure.
I just got my stomach crushed, basically. So
For
it's
sure.
like I need to lay down.
Not feeling too great. And he kind of gives you this like slight bow with his head, not with his whole body, but it's just I'm not gonna make you roll for it, but you would kind of pick up he's giving you a sign of respect.
I'll give in return.
Not many would be as quick thinking as you and willing to jump in to help a stranger.
I come from a people who always help one another, no matter what.
That's a good mantra to live by. Not many live by that. Where are my manners? I am Commander Tyniel. I'm not far from here. I'm based in Eligress.
I'm Diadora Shadeson, and this is my brother Indigo. We're camped out that way through the woods.
For sure. I don't want to intrude, but you would be an incredible soldier. I don't want to spring this on you right now, but I would love to, by chance, speak with you a bit more once you and I have both rested a bit about
Okay.
what, if anything, what your ambitions are for the future.
Okay, yeah. You're welcome anytime. We're gonna be camped there for a while before the season, until the seasons change.
Sure. I have a camp not too far as well. Oh, here, and he kind of gestures in his bag for a moment and pulls out a copper piece, and on the back of it is the sign of the tree and a diamond in the middle. It's notated with that. We'll talk, but if you grow weary of traveling and want something a bit more stable, in terms of and he Indigo gives a small growl at that.
Yeah, I think Diadora's looking at like, what?
Apologies, that was not the correct term. Something a bit more constant, not moving around as much, but still seeing the world. Like I said, would be an honor to have you train under me. Or, honestly, me train under you with the way you were hitting that thing more than I was, so...
I think that was just luck. I have a question about the
Sure.
coin they gave me. Is it money?
No, this looks
Oh, it's just like a calling card?
Yeah, it looks
Okay.
different than the kind of copper coins that you've seen, because your village does use copper as a means to pay for things. No, this looks like it's specifically for all intents and purposes, like a business card. Like if
Okay.
I'm in trouble, let me wave this get out of jail card kind of thing.
Okay. I only asked because if it was money, Diadora would have handed it back.
Oh,
back to him,
100%.
like-
No. This looks slightly distinctly different in the light. As it kind of shifts, you see very small tinges of blue on the background. It's very, very subtle.
Okay.
Most copper would not have that
Yeah.
on it.
Well, Yeah, I would like to have that conversation with you at the very least.
Sure. I will be on the lookout. And he kind of nods his head towards you and gives a very small, curt look to Indigo and quickly, like, oop, I
Get the
gotta
fuck
go.
out of, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, let me just go. He does give, no, he wouldn't. I was gonna say he would give coin, but he doesn't actually have coin on him right now.
Yeah.
So, but you do see him take off towards the woods, and you can see in the distance and smell in the distance campfires not far, as his kind of words linger in on the air. Your brother next to you has kind of shifted so he's a little bit more rigid. Well, Dia, do you want to leave?
I don't want to leave you, but I also am curious.
Oh, I meant like here. Do you want to leave and go back?
Oh, yes. Please. I need to lay down.
Sure.
That crab almost cut me in half.
Well, it looks like you cut it up pretty well. And you can see his friends are kind of tying ropes around it to drag back to camp. They have been spending the last few minutes kind of chiseling away at the large stone on the back to try to cut down on the weight without exposing the meat to the elements.
Yeah.
So they've been doing that. And you head back to camp. Based off of your passive perception, you do pick up that Indigo every now and then is just stealing kind of glances at you, trying to just gauge anything if you are actually thinking about like leaving, but not asking you that right now. You've had a lot to process.
Yeah.
But you do head back to camp, and the scene shifts to, at this point, you and the commander arrive to a clearing in the Azora forest. He pauses for a moment and looks back at you. Our meeting that day left a very profound impact on me.
And me.
I don't think you realize the kind of effect that it had. So I will offer this space to you as well, should you ever need a space to think and kind of collect. Only myself and Sandora know of this place. It's very hush.
And now Gregory. Just kidding.
Gregory has not been following you.
Okay. It's beautiful. It's beautiful here.
He moves back some branches, and you see the clearing more. He has brought sand to this forest floor. And you get it's not that sand necessarily has a scent, but it has a feel to it. This is sand similar, it's not quicksand, similar to what you saw that day when you found the commander. And in the very center, there's a diamond kind of faced rock. And he kind of this is just a place to think about things and get away for a little bit.
Has it always looked like this, or were you just feeling nostalgic?
Maybe a bit of both. You tend to get nostalgic in your old age. Don't tell Gregory that.
I think Gregory's nostalgic in his young age already.
That's true. It's a little bit dangerous. But I just wanted to offer this place as a oasis for you to get away for a bit.
I think Diadora kind of takes a step further in and looks around. And then turns back and sort of nods like, I would love that. Thank you.
And based off of your passive perception, as you step forward, you don't smell a city that's not far from here. You don't smell the barracks. You don't hear it either. You hear the birds. You hear wildlife moving around, shifting. And as you walk on the sand, you see your imprints that you're leaving behind. Stay there for a moment before they move.
Mm-hmm. I think Diadora would be the type to, like, you know, take her boots off, you know, like kind of shove them off, and then like let the sand like go between her toes and whatnot, because yeah.
And Commander Tyneal, who you know, especially when he's in front of the others, doesn't necessarily show emotion. He shows it around you because in the heat of battle, emotions tend to pop out. He's more comfortable with you. You do see a slight, very small smile on his face as he's kind of watching that happen. Well, like I said, no questions asked. This is a place for you. Should you ever need to think about who you are and what mark you want to leave on the world.
It's definitely something to think about. Thank you, Commander.
No problem. He kind of nods, and you see him already kind of shifting back into the very formal kind of look. We should probably head back to the barracks.
Yes, don't want to, we don't want Sindar to get into a tizzy.
No, especially with Jeremy. That boy.
Oh.
That boy.
Yeah.
And he kind of puts his arm out for you to lead the way back to camp.
I do, and I don't put my boots back on.
He does not give you any inkling that this surprises him in any way, shape, or form. But the two of you head back to camp. And with those thoughts of who you are and what mark you're leaving on the world, the ties of fate begin to interweave even more. And that is where we're going to end our journey for today.
That was amazing! That was so much fun!
That was so much fun. I always have a blast with you, Fair. Seriously. Hire Fair. Do it. But yeah, this was...
I do like money.
I love it. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us today. Like I said, stay tuned for other interludes. Aurea should be up next. So stay tuned for that to see how this friendship, even though they're miles and years apart currently, they're still, ride or dies, But it's great. Fair, is there anything you want to say or plug before we head out of here?
Things I want to say. This was amazing, Jordan. Thank you so much. I had so much fun. I've never done like a solo session like this before, and it was a lot of fun. Like this specifically with combat and everything. You can just follow me on Twitter at Fairbear. That's where you'll know what I'm doing when I'm doing it. I do other projects like over on Waffles Maple Syrup, rolling these 20s, along with some other things that haven't been announced yet. Yeah, just follow me on Twitter. And I guess Hive, even though I don't use it.
Yeah, Hive is the thing.
Yeah.
Thank you all so much. Stay tuned. Aurea's adventure should be, starting shortly. And thank you all so much for hanging out today. Reminder to please go check out our Patreon. We have more things in the wow, y'all, sick and just 2 hours of RP and my brain is just not in the pipeline for ideas, and we're doing a lot as well as our YouTube, because all of that will be uploaded there as well. But thank you so much for hanging out with us today, and we'll see you for season 2 on January 21st. But from all of us here at the Vale, see you next time. Bye bye, everyone.